These are the top 5 meta weapons to use for MW3 Ranked Play in Season 5. And class number 5 is the AMR9. Unfortunately, there were no crazy buffs or nerfs with the recent Season 5 update. However, the AMR9 previously did get buffed, and it is good enough to do some damage in Ranked Play, but it's not going to be your new meta or anything crazy like that. Starting here with the muzzle, on the AMR9, I like to go with a Purifier muzzle brake for that horizontal recoil control and firing aim stability. Over here to the barrel, my favorite is the Tectonic Herald Light Barrel for aim walking steadiness, aim walking speed, and movement speed. The only reduction is in hipfire and tac stance spread, which is totally fine with the SMG, and that's worth the benefits for aim walking speed and movement speed. Over here to the stock, we're going to go with the Wolfhound Carbine stock for gun kick control and recoil control, and it really only hurts in terms of the ADS speed and not by much. Scrolling down here to the rear grip, we're going to choose the Seiken ZX grip for firing aim stability, gun kick control, and recoil control, with the only reduction in aiming idle sway. And then the last attachment for this gun is going to be an underbarrel, the typical DR6 hand stop for aim down sight speed, aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed to make this gun super fast. Keep in mind, it's not going to do a ton of damage long range, but it's fast enough to be worth a shout out for mid to close range. Here in the firing range, this is what the AMR9 class looks like at close range, at medium range, and then at long range. So it takes a lot of bullets to kill, especially on that furthest bot, but it's fast enough and stays consistent enough to where it's worth a shout for medium and close range. A bonus class here is going to be the Renetti. For the barrel, we're going to rock the MLX short competition barrel for movement speed, and then the EXF Eclipser grip for movement speed, aim walking speed, and sprint to fire speed. These are the only 2 attachments that you can use if you're following pro GAs. You can also throw an optic on there like the slate reflector if you want to. And if you want to throw more attachments on, you can. But I typically like to stay with what the pros use for the pistol, so here we are. For the rest of the class, I rock stuns or Simtexes. On S&D, I'll swap this to a smoke as well. Trophy system, of course, across the board. Don't worry about going with dead silence. And then quick grip for SMGs. I sometimes switch to marksman for ARs if I'm trying to shoot long range, but if I notice myself throwing a lot of stuns, nades, or trophies on the AR class, I will keep quick grip on those. Covert sneakers, sometimes either using the lightweight sneakers or the running sneakers, and then EOD padding across the board for my third perk. I don't really mess with attack mask as much. I typically stay with EOD. And now for class number 4 is the MTZ556. I wasn't expecting to add this to ranked play, but after they did, you can't deny how good that this class is, especially for medium range. This gun absolutely destroys. For the muzzle, we're going to go over here to the Purger brake, which is pretty much just the Purifier muzzle like we have on the SMGs. For the barrel, we're going to use the Clinch Pro barrel for that bullet velocity, damage range, and aiming idle sway. For the optic, you can do an optic if you want to. I prefer to use the Mark III reflector. This class is a little bit weird because you do have to have a heavy focus on the recoil control just because of how bad it is on this gun. So going over here to the stock, we're actually going to use the MTZ Marauder stock for gun kick control and recoil control. And then the last attachment, we're avoiding the underbarrel. We're actually going to go here to the rear grip and use the Bruin TR24 assault grip for firing aim stability and gun kick control. It is a little bit slower without the underbarrel, but you'll admit that it's worth it later when you see how straight this gun can shoot at close, medium, and even long range. If you hit more shots than me too at that long range bot, it will absolutely destroy us. If you want to, you could also take away the Mark III reflector and then add a DR6 hand stop. This would make the gun a lot faster if you're okay getting used to these iron sights. They block a little bit more than the red dot sight does, but what it does to the gun is make it a ton faster. And since you're able to strafe faster too, it makes it more accurate when you get the rotational aim assist. But definitely worth noting, especially if you're not interested in following the pro GAs and want to be using something different anyways. And up next is class number 3 is the Striker 9. In my opinion, probably the best SMG in the game. The only problem is you make a ton of people mad and have to use a GA'd class. But if you're okay with that, you might as well use it while it's allowed. For the muzzle, we're going to go all the way down here to the Zeman compensated flash hider. This makes it so that it doesn't move at all. For the barrel, we're going to go with a Striker Recon long barrel for bullet velocity, range, and idle sway. We're going to skip the rest of the attachments, go over here to the underbarrel. We're going to use the FTAC MSP98 hand stop just to make the aim walking speed insane. And the last 2 attachments are going to be the rear grip and the stock. For the rear grip, we're going to use the Seiken ZX grip for firing aim stability, gun kick control, and recoil control. And then the stock, we're going to use the FSS Priority Tactical stock for more help with recoil control, movement speed, and sprint speed. And like I said, this class is absolutely insane. If you get a headshot with it, it will absolutely delete people at close range and even medium range too. The longer ranges, it gets a little bit harder to control the recoil, but if you hit your shots better than I do, it can still delete people even at range. Next is class number 2 is the MCW. Previously, I used the built-in muzzle and the claw grip. However, I have finally conformed to what the pros use, and we're going to go here all the way down to the L4 flash hider. For recoil control and gun kick control, it does slow your ADS speed a little bit, but I'm getting used to it. I know that it's worth it for long range gunfights, so that's what we're sticking with. Here we're going to use the MCW Cyclone long barrel for the bullet velocity and range, aiming auto sway, and firing aim stability. For the underbarrel, we're going to choose the DR6 hand stop for aim down sight speed and walking speed. Just make the gun super fast. For the optic, Mark III reflector, which is here. I use that red dot sight. And then the rear grip, we're going to choose the claw grip for firing aim stability, recoil control, and gun kick control. And y'all have used this MCW class. You know how it goes. It does not miss. If you get a headshot, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get a headshot, it's 4 bullets. You only need 1 headshot too, which is the craziest part. And then at long range, completely beams. Best gun of the game in my opinion, especially with the headshot multiplier. If you aren't using this class and you aren't using this gun, you are going to lose. Straight up. Kind of sad how it works, but this gun's so good, you cannot deny how good it is. And you kind of have to use it, especially on all maps. But with that being said, class number 1 is my favorite. It's the Rival 9. For the muzzle, of course, we're going to go with the Purifier muzzle brake. Y'all know this class. For the barrel, we're going with the Clear Shot barrel, underbarrel, DR6 hand stop, MTZ Marauder stock for gun kick control and recoil control, and rear grip is the Rival Vice Assault grip for even more help with the gun kick control. Y'all know this class. You know how it works. You used it before. And it's absolutely undeniable. It can kill at close, medium, and long range, especially when you get used to that recoil control. As you can see, there's a crazy difference with my muscle memory from this class compared to the Striker 9, just because of how much more that I've used it. Admittedly, it's not as good as the MCW, but for close range, it's way better. And those are the top 5 classes for Modern Warfare 3 Season 5 of Ranked Play. I hope you all enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you did, and I'll catch you next time at lunchtime.